Hey y'all. So yeah, it's been a little while since I've posted a video. Things have been really hectic lately. We've had so many storms and it's just been absolutely ridiculous. It's kept me really busy with what my other stuff I do. So you'll have to forgive me if I don't sound good. I'm feeling kind of sick right now, but I had to come out and get this done before it gets too hot because it's getting up to 98 degrees. Welcome to summer in Texas. So it's June 20th. Happy solstice to those of y'all out there. As you can see, the herb garden is doing really well. We've got some new stuff here. There's a little marjoram. There's a young tarragon. The lemongrass is doing amazing. I can't believe how well that's doing. Pineapple sage is in bloom. I got some cornflower here getting ready to bloom. Some flowers bringing pollinators. Unfortunately, this has stopped flowering, but it was beautiful when it was. This one right here, that is primrose. Beautiful pink flowers, almost have kind of a glass look to them. I can't believe how much this thing has grown. This beautiful little ghost flower succulent is doing amazing. Of course, my aloe vera. Here's a forget-me-not that's getting ready to bloom. This started from just a teeny little cutting, and as you can see, it has really thrived. It's loving being in this pot with this higher quality soil mix. So anyway, here comes the garden. Got a couple new pepper plants. Picked these guys up over at Home Depot because they actually had 2 of them per pot instead of the 1 like usual, and they're nice and healthy. Already producing little peppers for me. They're both sweet peppers. This is a snacking, lunchbox snacking pepper, and this is a gypsy, and pardon the low-flying plane. Had a really bad infestation of spider mites, unfortunately, but finally got some actual cold-pressed neem oil. Forget that hydro whatever extract stuff you get at the store. That just don't work for nothing. Cold pressed is what you need, and you probably need to get that online, but it stopped the infestation dead in its tracks. You can see here where the spider mites were, and then you can see the new leaves up here that look just beautiful. Unfortunately, it's because it's so hot already, I'm not really getting a whole lot of actual plants take, and the cucumbers that are getting pollinated are really getting stunted. A lot of my older peppers, you can see, are kind of yellow. That's because we've had so much rain. It's rushed a lot of the nutrients out, and it's kind of flooded their root systems. Now that it's getting hot and the rain is cutting back, they're drying out. They're getting new leaves starting to grow. They're nice and green. Basil is really taking off. And I'm watering with compost tea. Well, not watering, feeding with compost tea every Friday, and that's really helping out. And you can see the marigolds, how well they're doing. Peppers are just taking a little longer to grow. This guy may not look too good. Early blight, it happens, especially in heat and humidity, but we're working on getting it treated. Well, you can't really treat it, but preventative measures. I'm trying to keep up with that. But as you can see, it's just loaded with flowers, and it's even got some fruit. I actually picked 2 ripe red ones off of it yesterday. Beautiful bee flowers, the borage doing great. 4th of July tomatoes starting to flower again. I'm still not getting anything off of this beefsteak, but beefsteaks of course don't do well in Texas. It gets pretty warm for them. It's got some flowers getting ready to open, so we'll see what happens there. I don't know what happened here. This is my sweet cherry, and I'm not sure what's going on where I'm treating it the best I can. We'll just have to kind of see what happens. It's kind of touch and go at this point. The new growth down here is nice and green, got some flowers going, but I'm not sure what's going on with this old growth here, but it's the only one that's doing this. These, as you can see, are really taking off. They're loving this weather, although it's at the point now where I'm going to have to start getting some shade cloth for them. This was my onion beds. I think there's 1 onion still in there that hasn't fallen over yet. The rest of them all grew, bulbed, and fell over, so I harvested them, and I've been eating on homegrown onions for the last several weeks, and man, are they good. So these are my three, what are supposed to be purple tomatillos. One, this little bitty one here, is a purple tomatillo. The bigger one growing with it actually turns out is either, I'm not fully sure, a golden ground cherry or a pineapple tomatillo, because their fruits are still kind of small. Even the purple tomatillo are really small right now, thanks to all the rain washing out the nutrients. It's hard to tell. Once they get healthier, start growing fruit to full size, I'll be able to know. But we had some seeds that weren't supposed to be in that packet sneak in. Hello, little honeybees. We got a honeybee, and we got I'm not sure what species he is, but that's a local bee, little black bee over here doing their job. So hopefully I'll start getting some, oh, there goes another bee. Hopefully I'll start getting some more fruit soon. That's why I have 3 of these growing all right next to each other, because they cannot self-pollinate. They have to have multiple plants, at least 2, to pollinate. Little bees are going to town. Good, that's a good thing. I forgot my toothbrush here. I use a toothbrush to hand pollinate tomato plants. Since tomatoes, bees can't get to the pollen, they usually don't mess with them that much, so it helps to kind of just vibrate them a little bit, hand pollinate them. You can just shake them if you don't want to bother with an electric toothbrush. My watermelons, they're doing pretty well. They're growing, they're flowering. I'm hoping to get some nice sugar baby watermelons. There's my cantaloupe starting to grow. Strawberries, I am just amazed with these things. They're not flowering anymore. It's gotten too hot, but they are just beautiful. They're now starting to put out runners. I'm going to start trying to take those runners and pot them into some new pots. Maybe I'll get more. I want more of this variety of strawberry. I got these bare roots. They are growing really, really well, nice and thick, real healthy, and the fruit they produce are just so delicious. Now, these are looking really bad. These were my Roman tomatoes, and what's going on here is this is a determinate. They grow to a certain size, they produce a bunch of flowers at once, their fruit ripen at pretty much a close proximity of time, and then they just die. They hit the end of their life and they die. That's basically what happened here. Unfortunately, bugs got these 2 fruit, that's why they're discarded. Most of the fruit I've managed to pick off. There's still a few on this kind of a late bloomer, I guess. But most of the fruit I've already picked off, so I've been eating some Roman tomatoes, and they're nice and good. This little guy I got clearance sale last year at Walmart, and I thought was going to die. But as you can see, it survived the winter, come back to life, and starting to bloom. This is a lantana plant, which bees and especially butterflies really love. Don't really do anything with him. They love drought, they love heat, so they are a perfect plant for the south, like Texas and Florida, that kind of stuff. These things grew everywhere in Florida. Florida sand ain't got a lot of nutrients, but they absolutely thrived. So if you're in the south where it gets really, really hot and dry, this is a good flower for you. And then I got 2 more cucumbers over here. They're facing kind of more west, so they don't get the morning sun like everything else does. They get the afternoon sun. But they're growing up my trellis here by the windows, and they're doing good. We've got some little ones starting to grow down here. Oh, there you go, there's another one. So finally starting to get some cucumbers. I've got high hopes for these guys. Let's see. These are my Space Masters. So they're not going to get too big. Probably not going to get much bigger than this particular vine is here. But they're pretty good. I had good luck with these last year. I'm also starting something new right now. They don't look like much right now, but that's because I harvested them last week. These were loaded with fruit. That was my poblano and that was my dragon cayenne. They were loaded with peppers, and oh my lord, are they so tasty. Had a pepper from a grocery store, you have no idea what peppers are supposed to taste like. Even the bell pepper is actually starting to produce again. I've gotten a couple good ones off of that, and now it's giving me some more. So 3-gallon container. You can grow delicious homegrown peppers on a patio in a 3-gallon container. But what I'm starting to do is get rid of this shredded hardwood and replacing it with my finished compost, top dressing with finished compost, and then putting store-bought compost over that in place of the mulch, because store-bought compost for the most part is basically just shredded wood from tree companies that have been rotting for the last year or two, well, breaking down. So one, it's not going to rob nutrients, it's actually going to increase the nutrients already in the soil as it continues breaking down, and then you just throw more on top of it as it breaks down. So that's my new plan. I've already done it on a few, like these over here, and so far it's actually doing well. So yeah, it's already about 86 degrees, so time for me to head back inside. Alright, bye.